Hey, everybody, it's your girl, Author Doc B, is in the building. And guess what? We have a special treat for you tonight. Thank you so much for all the love, support, and appreciation. We really do appreciate you here at Bring It to the Table. It's your girl, Author Doc B. She's your host, and she's in the building with our queen, Marcia Marie Moore. And let me tell you, I'm going to tell you a lot about her. I'm going to read some things about her first, but let me go public because a lot of times Facebook messes up and Twitter. So I want to make sure that we are public on all platforms. He was invited tonight. Right. So once he I'll bring him on. We have a co-host. We're gonna have a co-host. She don't have a cup anymore. So we're gonna bring him on. He is backstage. All right. So coming in 3, 2, 1. There's our co-host. Ladies and gentlemen, he made it to the platform. Azam Abdullah Azim. How you doing,
What's
brother?
going
Salam
on,
alaikum.
family? What's going on? Marcia, thank you for coming out. I'm your boy, Triple A, Azam Abdul Azim's co-host with my girl, Dr. Doc B.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me today.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we got the queen on. You got her bio. You want to read her bio? I'm gonna go do some more work so that we can make sure everything's streaming live. That's why we need more than one.
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead. You can do that and introduce her, and I'm going to go on and make sure we are.
Okay, good evening, family. Once again, it's your boy Azam Abdul Azim. As you know already, throw up the like, share, throw them hearts up. We got a queen inside the house. Goes by the name of Marcia Marie Moore, a.k.a. the Poet DragonFly. Y'all better know she's an author, scientist, COVID compliance production manager, script supervisor for TV, film sets, and more. The natural healing advocate. She's also an entrepreneur. Y'all better ask somebody. She's the owner of the KaribbeanKraze Dance Fitness and EataCure LLC companies, teaching you wellness, living through various products and services, including sports exercise, right? She's also a nutrition and motivational speaker for the mind, body, check it out, and spirit, right? Amen. The mind, body, and spirit, the wholeness that we need in life. Marcia is a native of Philadelphia, PA, right? So you already need to know, check it out. Chemistry with an extensive background in forensics. I'm thinking, you know what I'm thinking about right now, 48 hours, right? You down with 48 hours? You better stop playing, right? So check it out, right? Again, forensic, clinical research, quality assurance, and pharmaceutical, as well as certifications in sport, exercise, nutrition, group fitness, and pilots, yoga fusion. Marcia has been, check it out, saved since age 11. Somebody, gotta get an amen. Gotta get some hearts. Yo, look, stop playing, right? And here we go. Listen, from a family of pastors, teachers, and psychologists, she has a ministry. She has ministered to youths and women since her 20s, and God has now launched her to teach biblical principles worldwide. You know, so look, as soon as I read this earlier, right, I thought of my sciatica. I said, yo, I need to get on the show. Look, I might look after Doc B. Look, I'm done. Listen, I'm gonna turn it over. I'm here for support. If something come to mind, trust me, I'm gonna say it. Look, I couldn't get on a roller coaster today. We should have had this last week. I probably could have got on the roller coaster today. I couldn't do it. Anyway, listen, I'm your boy Azam Abdul Azim, co-host here at Bring It to the Table. We keep it real. We got a beautiful sister in the house. I'm gonna turn it back over to the beautiful queen, Author Doc B.
Marcia, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, run cause. Of course, you all know that. I'm still new with this. Did it eventually. I went on my desktop and not my laptop. So I'm gonna hi audience real quick. Wonderful intro. Thank you so much, Azam. Thank you for joining.
You're
I'm
welcome,
sure some things that we discuss is fog your little brain. We do appreciate you coming. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Jacob. Hi, Tony. Hi, Isha. Thank you all for joining. I really do appreciate you all for coming and supporting the show. You just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people in my life. We are live today on LinkedIn, 3 different Facebook pages, a call to fill in the book, and I help her start her called A Call to Philly. And you had one of those calls too. We're going to talk about that stuff in a minute. Then you're on the 3 C's, which this podcast bring from my book, The 3 C's, How I Survived the Crack Addiction, Cancer, and COVID-19. Have you're on my regular, of course, Facebook page. We're live on Spotify now, y'all. Woo woo! And you are on Instagram, Twitter, and of course my YouTube page. So thank you so much for agreeing to come on to the show. One of the questions that I'll always start off with, Marcia, is who today, who is Marcia? Can you tell the audience? We read your bio, but that's all the things that you accomplished. We get that part. But who is Marcia? Look at that smile. Look at that
smile. Today is a woman that stands before you healed, whole, and a humble servant of God, just really wanting to do what I was called here to do, which is to help others heal. I wouldn't have thought the journey would have went the way it went, but to God be the glory. I understand that the process was necessary. So today is just a woman that's here to do what God called me to do. That's it.
Well, we thank God. We thank God for that. We really do. We thank God for that. And so one of the things here at Bring It to the Table that we talk about, Bring It to the Table is for those who have overcome, conquered, survived, and is now living beyond their dreams. So let's just get right into it, if that's okay with everybody on here.
Sure.
What how was it like when you was a kid? Let's go back there. It was when you was a child, the growing up process. Because you said in your bio where you came from the palaces and all that stuff. You know, how was back then growing up in the household? Can you tell the audience?
So growing up in Philadelphia, I was actually born in New York, but grew up in Philadelphia. I had both my parents, and I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers. And we grew up in the house, sharing rooms. And I had a good background in terms of a system, in terms of schooling. My dad was from Jamaica, though. So that made things interesting in our household. I grew up from a Caribbean lifestyle, hence fast forward the KaribbeanKraze dance fitness. But I had a pretty decent childhood. So I had supportive family members. I wanted to do science since I was 11 years old. We would go to visit my uncle in New York. He worked for the Coca-Cola company, and he worked in the syrup department making the syrups. So going to visit there was my first initial, wow, this is something I want to do. And I loved chemistry from a child, but yet there was something in me that also felt sensitive to people's needs, sensitive to people wanting them to be well and not sad as a child. So hindsight, I realized that was the birthing of where my heart was to help heal people. And I used to have dreams. Like I had dreams of winning a Nobel Peace Prize for accidentally making a cure for something, which is weird. But I'm a scientist at heart. I've also been writing since 11 or 12 years old. So writing was a way to express how I felt. how to get things out, that wasn't easily able to be talked about. So that was really where Dragonfly was birthed as well.
Okay. All right. Wow. And so at some point in your life, where did things go wrong to the point where eventually you found, you say, Jesus, you found God in your higher calling? What happened?
So, grew up in the church. My mom got saved later in life, but she grew us up in the church from around age 11. So all of this happened around 11 or 12. Naturally, you grow to your teenage years and you kind of drift away with the boys, with college, with life on life's terms, as they say. I got married young. I met my ex-husband at 21. I got married at 22, having my first child, as well as he had a son that I took care of since he was about 4.5, and he's 30 right now, turning 31. So through that ordeal, unfortunately, it wasn't the greatest relationship. I had to put up with multiple kids being young, which is very hard hindsight. I had to deal with addiction issues, different things that would crush the soul, if that makes sense. I grew up in the Cinderella realm of, love is bliss, but the word says when you were a child, you spake as a child. When you grow up, you put away childish things. So I had to learn what love was about. And I stayed about 10 years. It's a total of 5 kids met between the whole relationship. 3 I birthed, 2 I raised that were his. And they're my boys to this day. But in that turmoil, it stretched me. In that heartbreak of what I thought the idea of marriage was, it crushed me, literally. And then doing that, coming out of that, I was in my career as a forensic scientist. I became a chemist. So I have my bachelor's degree in chemistry. My parents wanted me to be a doctor, but I didn't like to watch people suffer. Blood didn't bother me, gore didn't bother me, but to watch someone suffer was too much for my heart. So I had kind of went the pharmaceutical route first, and in going the pharmaceutical route, that's when I ended up getting pregnant with my first son and ended up having to drop out. So actually, I got kicked out. My grades were like really low for that semester, and I didn't go back to pharmacy school, realizing it was the chemist that did the research that I wanted to do since a child. However, in college, I came across a forensics class that I loved, and I was graduating, and it just touched me where it was like, okay, I want to do this. So because I liked, I wanted to be almost like a CIA agent too when I was younger, but maybe don't mind, y'all. But my kids were already here. I was already married, and I just felt like that was too much to leave my family or take my family into that. I watched a lot of movies, y'all. So also working in forensics, I testified as an expert witness. So I used to get a little nervous about what I exposed my family to. But in that divorce, coming in out of that divorce, working that job, within that next year, I ended up rupturing a disc in my neck. So when I ruptured the disc in my neck, I was paralyzed. So I was paralyzed for a period of time, got myself back healthy.
Well, hold on. It's about to get good. So you guys better hold on to your seat, because it's getting ready to get good now. I'm telling you, this getting ready to get good. We about to take a turn. We only 15 minutes in. So hold on to your seat. Y'all heard what she said. We already got God as she going into these valleys and these trials and these situations. So hold on. Y'all better strap up, because it's getting ready to get good. I'm trying to tell you something. She already told you she educated. She came from a family of education, and she came from a family of believers. So y'all better get ready. I just had to tell you. I you know, that's Doc B's personality that shows up on the show. You see, this is bringing it to the table, and she getting ready to drop a jewel on y'all. I'm telling y'all better listen to. She had God when she went into these having babies and having these husbands and have, because bring it to the table was about anything you had over. And then you had the nerve to go back and conquer some stuff like an education, right? And now they live beyond your dreams. So she's not, she's over there. So y'all, I'm just telling the truth. I'm telling the audience that they gotta get ready because this is about to be real, you know. So go ahead. I'm sorry. I just had to, you know.
So just to add a little drama and juiciness to her hypeness, because I love her so. So I actually married my
plus we got to tell them how.
So I actually married my ex-husband twice. So we separated for a period of time. It wasn't a long time. Literally, it was less than 6 months, maybe like 5 months before I remarried him. But we had gotten divorced. I was dealing with that, trying to get healthy from my neck. Went back to work now. It was fine. But every so often I would get sick again, or I would like get aches, pains, and it was problems. So within that time frame, we got back together. Naturally, it wasn't the best relationship, so I don't believe the stress helped the situation. So with that, we divorced again for the final time. And I ended up rupturing a disc in my neck in 2010. So in 2010, it took me out of work. So here, I went to school as planned. I went to college as planned. I fought to finish college even after marriage and the birth of my son, and thought that this would be the career that I would have for life because I was faithful and loyal to anything I put my hand to. So my whole world was shaken to the core, where not only was I bedridden, within 3 years, I developed autoimmune issues. So now you're talking about not working a career that you done fought to go to school for, not having a husband anymore that you thought and took that vow for life. So can you imagine the damage that was done to my soul, to my mind, my will, and my emotions? I was broken to my core. But God had a different plan. He used it for my healing. He used it. And I'm talking about my journey was not easy, y'all. I was bedridden 7 years. It wasn't overnight like when I first ruptured the disc, got better, and went back to work. Oh, no, I had to lay down for quite a long time. 7 years bedridden, almost 4 on a walker and cane. I'm talking about I had 6 and 9-year-old children trying to dress me because I wasn't approved for disability yet. I wasn't approved for home nurses or anything like that. Now, in this time, I moved out of state and moved to Jersey, away from my actual village. So that was another hurdle that I had to go over. I hadn't even been in this house long when I lost my job. My career wasn't just a job. This was my career. So God had to heal me from the inside out. And although I suffered in pain, although it took me 7 years to get well, I never gave up. You can't give up in your process. And you have to get to a point where you get to the end of yourself and ask.
Stay right there. Stay right there, girl. This is so good. Now, Azam, we can identify.
Absolutely.
That's why I tell people that but this is why I tell people bring it to the table is not only for those with substance abuse, mental health problems. She's not talking about that stuff. She's talking about how her spirit, her recovery had to be done from the inside. Woo, we cooking with Crisco now. We say the same thing, don't we, Zam?
Absolutely.
We say the
was
same
so
thing.
real. We talk about the spiritual strife of life that becomes the burden that we have to come over that hurdle. Yeah. No substances, no none of that. Just life on life terms itself that deadens the spirit. And now I got to get through that. Man, beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. You definitely identify.
Yeah, and it takes time.
And she ain't talking about the doctors right now. She ain't say nothing about the doctors right now. She talking about the doctor. Not the ones down there at the hospital. She ain't talking about that. And that's why this show has been created. You know, because you got to have that internal stuff going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In order to make it through anything. That's why we address everyday people like us. Come talking and keep talking. I told him it was going to get good. Y'all heard it. He got his inside job.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sis.
Yeah. Because through the process, God started to show me. He started to show me at first, because you always have to see you before you can help others. So he had to show me, and that hurts because we're ugly inside, you know. Our Beth is filthy rags. So I had to go through a major transformation to be on the other side that you see me on now, you know, and even through it, not giving up in the process, not giving up hope. Is it easy? No. But I had to realize, number one, I was thankful that even though I was bedridden in pain year after year, I wasn't paralyzed anymore. Because remember, when it first came, I was paralyzed. So at least I wasn't in a wheelchair at that point. Very chronic pain, yes. Multiple meds, yes. Seeing 1 million doctors trying to figure out what's wrong with me. It took them 3.5 years to even diagnose me with something that they're still not really sure of. Autoimmune is so hard to deal with, but you learn through time that after the initial trauma, whether it's physical trauma or severe mental or emotional trauma, those are the triggers of autoimmune. You have to be mindful from that point out to not let it trigger again. So mine was the physical injury to my neck. However, all the emotional damage that was done prior is what allowed it to kind of manifest, if that makes sense. So you have a bunch of inflammation in your body, pain in your body. Now on top of that, emotional strain. So that's where the autoimmune your body starts to attack itself, literally. However, through it all, there was a period where I was getting 4-hour infusions pumped into my chest every 14 days, which is one step under chemo. And every time I went in there, I gave the others hope. Every time I stepped foot, pain or not, I had a smile on my face, and they didn't understand how or why. And I could only tell them it's the God I serve. I could only tell them that I don't get to dictate the platform that he uses you from. It's real easy to be used on a stage where there's lights, camera, action. I'm in film, so I know what that's like behind the camera and on the camera. But can he trust you to go into a jail cell? Can he trust you to be on a cancer floor? Can he trust you to be in a place that is not ordinary as your stage to represent him? And that's what I learned through those years. I gave people hope who had no hope. I might only had a little bit, but I had it. Then I went back for them to see me on the other side. So now I am a figment of wellness for them. And in the meantime, God's birthing out perseverance, patience, long suffering, every fruit of the spirit that I needed, that is necessary for me to carry my assignment. Also, I didn't even get to publish my first poetry book. I didn't get to publish my first poetry book until I left my job. So I had been writing since 11, Didn't publish it till after 30, 20 something years. I intended on doing it.
Yeah.
But I was working what I thought was a great career when God says, I called you to more, but it wasn't in a way that I thought it should look like. You have to learn how to fall in love with the process. If you fall in love with the process, you don't get tripped.
Wait a minute, hold on, stay right there. Hey. Well, there it is, folks. You heard it right here on Bring It to the Table with your girl, Orthodox B. As Samuel disappeared and she dropped another jewel, she told the people, you must. She said, you must fall in love with the process.
Oh, I'm gonna use that.
She ain't talking about mental health. She ain't talking about substance abuse. She ain't talking about none of that stuff. She ain't talking about substance abuse. I'm gonna say that again. She ain't talking about mental health. I'm gonna say that again. She talking about spirituality and her reclaiming an inside job and how falling in love with the process allowed her and afforded her the ability to answer to the call.
Yeah,
that part right there.
Now let's tell the audience this, because this is I'm telling you, hands down. How we met. You tell them.
This beautiful soul.
How we met. Oh, wait. Some of the audience. They said she's talking. Ooh, this is so good.
They said I'm talking what? You cut off.
Go ahead. Tell them how we met.
So how we met was.
They said she is talking that talk. They said, wow, we got to keep working. They talking all the stuff up in the chat. They in the chat talking.
So I met this beautiful soul at the airport.
Go ahead, tell them about that girl.
Huh? I had a delay. And
keep going.
I was upset about the delay at first, just because I didn't want it canceled. I was trying to get to Atlanta for something that I actually missed anyway. However, I knew once a certain amount of time passed, I said, okay, God, anytime there's a delay, it's something you want me to do or somebody you want me to meet. I've been rocking with God long enough to kind of understand him. Do I know his every move? Of course not. But I know him enough to know how he deals with me. So when this beautiful young lady came in the line asking about the delay, I felt something. And it was like, it must be her. This is what I'm thinking in my head. But I didn't say anything because I had come across a lot of people. But you know, when the spirit is involved, it'll connect you. You know, the spirit will connect you. So she was very kind to me. She was trying to hold our spots while we was waiting in line. And she said, oh, you never been to this airport before? Let me take you upstairs, girl, on a grand tour. So we went upstairs to go eat. And she was so kind, naturally, the comedian that she is. And we just started to talk and unfold one with another. And we realized how we had a lot in common in terms of just going through life to go through a purpose. And just things just kept confirming. And the more we talked, the more things confirmed. And she was like, listen, I need you on the show. So she's checking me out at the same time I'm talking to her. And she was like, I didn't know you did poetry too. I didn't know you did this. I need a poet for my tour. So we just really had a good time talking. Yeah, she was looking it up. But we had a great time just encouraging one another, encouraging one another's journey. I think I read a poem or two, maybe, I'm not sure. And we just had a good time. And I just knew at that point that was the reason for the delay, that I had to meet author Doc B. And we have been rocking ever since. We check up on each other every once in a while outside of social media. And I'm just grateful for the people that I meet along this journey. You never know who you'll come into contact with. You never know who you'll entertain. Sometimes they're angels. You don't know. So I do things with the anticipation and intention, because I know I'm always God's hands and feet on earth. So however he chooses to use me, wherever, I try to avail myself to that. So I was just blessed because she treated me to, what she was eating. She was just kind, kind and giving like I am. So to even meet somebody that's like you and like-minded like you don't get that too often. So you don't want to let them go, So I am just grateful to have met this beautiful soul. And I mean, we talked through the whole delay, and it was just a grand time. It really, really was. We were shocking each other with the stories. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And I told her I wanted to support her just as much, because I believe in what she's doing as well.
Look, that's so phenomenal, right?
Yeah, it was really good.
It takes me back when me and Aunt Doc we was at the airport too, and something about her in the airport. She meet people at the airport. We was delayed.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Look, my flight was delayed too. Next, we run into each other.
Wait, no, Marcia, watch this. Marcia, look.
She's an airport meter.
Right. That's her stage.
At the airport.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
The airport. That's it. God will land you in the right place.
Hello. I have met more people in the airport, sold more products, books in the airport, collected more phone numbers in the airport, met a diverse people at the airport. Listen, I'm your host tonight, and it's going down. We are keeping it.
Yes, it is.
Sam went in the chat. You put it in the private part, and you got to put on.
That's how I got locked out. You remember, I'm still new. I'm the co-host. I could get
table short, where we keep it real. I love that. I know. That's correct. And so, Marcia, so tell us a little bit more about this part right here, because there is something in your story that, where was that part that I wanted to talk about? So how you said that you are people's hope in sports, fitness, nutrition. You have these businesses and you're just blooming. In fact, you were up for an award recently too of that on your IG. Her Instagram page is popping. We're going to get to all that because I want you to leave all of the ways that people can contact you. Health and wellness. She is just your all-around African-American sister that got it going on. She's on radio. She's on TV. She's in commercials. She's up for awards. And I am one of your biggest fans, But tell the audience, I mean, how do you manage all this stuff with this? You got pilots from yoga fusion to fitness groups and to nutritionist products, and how do you do it all?
Well, again, I wake up with intention, trying to seek what is required of me for the day. During those 7 years being bedridden, almost 4 on a walker and cane, that was not only my processing for my internal healing, that is where I got all my natural wellness knowledge from. So literally, I didn't even learn about Dr. Sebi and alkaline diets and different type of diets until afterwards. I was literally, everything I ate gave a reaction to my body. And as a scientist, I love to learn. So I literally recorded everything down. Everything that I ate, I took an account, because the doctors really, they can only do but so much. You have to learn how to advocate for yourself. So as I'm writing stuff down, for me, I had the Holy Spirit show me certain things. Mm-hmm. So I started to see groups and categories. And I'm like, okay, well, what does this mean? Then I looked it up and found Dr. Sebi and some others that just helped me with a whole lifestyle change of eating, because with autoimmune, your biggest culprit is inflammation. So we know the more inflammation you have in your body, more mucus you have in your body, more inflammation. The more inflammation you have, the more sickness and disease. So the key is to keep your body what's called alkaline, or your body's naturally acidic. So you want to eat natural foods and herbs that we already have from the earth to help heal our bodies. Food can either heal you or kill you, literally.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned that process over those 7 years. So by the time I came out, I was able to birth my business, EataCure Wellness. And EataCure is just like it sounds. It's what you take in to be whole, but it's not just what you eat. It's what you take in your mind. It's what you hear. It's what you take in mind, body, and spirit. And that has to be positive, whole things in order to be well. So that's how those came out. And then when I started to walk again, I did a lot of water therapy or water classes. And in watching that, I'm like, listen, I could teach this stuff myself. And I literally, when I got well enough to walk without a walker and cane, I became a fitness instructor, because I felt if this is the way that got me to get strong, if this is the way, because the thing with autoimmune, it could come back at any time. So it's very humbling. You know, I don't care how good I am, how good I can walk, talk, or whatever. That thing can come back at any time. And it has resurfaced every couple of years trying to rear its ugly head. So I had to learn to walk in wellness. I had to learn to keep my stress levels down. I had to learn about what foods to eat and what not to eat for my body, not just for a cleanse, but for everyday eating. I loved food. We're from the Caribbean. We love flavors and tastes and things like that. But I had to learn how to eat to live instead of live to eat. So that's where EataCure's motto came from. Eat to live, there's more to life. More is my last name, Moore. So that's where that came from. So literally, I had to walk through that thing. Now I've learned about over 35 herbs that I can help you get yourself well. Because for me, the word says, okay, if I give you a fish, I feed you for the night. But if I teach you how to fish, then you'll be able to feed yourself for a lifetime. So I literally educate. I'm an educator. So I'm not a doctor, but I can educate you on how to have yourself be well based on what your needs are. And you don't always have to be sick. Preventative wellness is the best wellness. So I can instruct you on preventative wellness. So that's where the KaribbeanKraze Dance Fitness came in, to keep your body moving. I teach in land and water. In doing that, I got certified in Pilates Yoga Fusion so that I could do a flex stretch class for stretching. I took those classes, and as well as EataCure's products of CMOS, CBD, things like that, took it into the film industry, because right at the end of COVID, people were scared to go back into the world in close quarters. So that created my COVID compliance job. And since I already had 20 years experience in quality assurance and quality control from my other jobs in forensics and working in pharmaceutical companies doing drug research, I learned to take that with me everywhere I go. So that's why it seems like I have a million hats, but they're used in accordance to the season that they're needed, if that makes sense.
Got you. Yeah, I got you. Woo wee, girl, you cooking with Crisco today. How to Eat to Live is a Islamic book that my father was the first resurrection Muslim. He was the first generation, and then I'm a second generation, and we live by that book. How to Eat
to
Live. Here you are, born again Christian, saying, "Yeah, well, you guys may have that, but I got some experiences in my own life that says, yeah, I'm on the same path, eat to live." So I'm going to show you how to use these things from the earth, right? to put into your body so that you can have longevity. And I love, I'm telling you, I'm a therapist for real. I love when you said the food is either going to do what?
Heal you
or what?
Heal you or kill
break you.
Literally. Make you or break you.
Look, he wrote it down. I saw the student. The student wrote it down. He was like, wait, let me get it. He's still on the stuff tonight, Marcia.
You know,
I love it.
Look, yo, the sad part is like right now, like the crock pot is in back of me. I'm smelling the oxtail, and I said, "Oh, she's messing up my dinner. She messing up my."
Enjoy your oxtail, sir. It's just to be mindful of what your body needs. And everybody's body is different. Everybody's body is different based on your environment and what you came up under. So one lifestyle change is going to look different from somebody else's. And that's where I come along to just coach you. That's where the sports, exercise, and nutrition certification comes in at. I was in school for to be an herbalist, but my company had launched by then. And even if I'm not actively working, doing the dancing or doing the education through EataCure, I'm on TV and film sets where I take EataCure sea moss juice so that people can feel, get energy for long hours. Sets can run 10, 12 hours very easily, as well as for immunity, because you're in close quarters with people. So God allowed me to use my brain.
Wow.
To take this wellness journey and everything. Even my flex and stretch class, it's called FlexCraze. I even introduced that to the cameramen and stuff because they're carrying the heavy equipment. So, you know, your neck is tense over hours, stress. Take a break, teach them a couple stretches. So I've learned to take my wellness company everywhere I go to be wellness to whatever that person needs.
Interesting. So I would have to ask because, like,
well,
look, right? I be trying to fit in, right? So out the Doc Beach, check it out. I was somewhere and the guy was selling, you know, raw sea moss, and I bought it, but don't know what to do with it.
Did you buy the dried version or in a gel?
In the gel.
Okay.
At the gel.
So I don't know if they have instructions on there. Most people say an average of 2 tablespoons. You can put that in food. It's a binder. I'm mostly plant-based, so I use it as an egg substitute in my cooking. It's thick enough to be icing on a cake. It's put in icing sometimes as a binder to keep it together. You could put 2 tablespoons in your tea or your coffee. If you're a shake person, put 2 tablespoons in your shake. You could do whatever you want with it as long as you get those 2 tablespoons in. Literally, it's like seaweed from the ocean. That's really what it is. But if you think about it, it contains all the minerals of that ocean's bed. So whatever coast that it comes from, you're getting all the nutrients from that ocean floor. So if you think about that, that's the goodness that you're putting in your body. I call it like a super vitamin. And it, you know, it changed my life literally because my doctor had put me on medical cannabis because that helped me come off the pills. I was on 17 pills 3 times a day, which is part of the reason why I was bedridden. You got a side effect for the side effects. You know, you got to take a pill for that side effect. And before you know it, you're on 1 million pills and can't move. So for me, that was no regular way of life. So I had to find an alternative. So the medical cannabis, go ahead.
I want, so hold on. Now, wait a minute. You was on, I'm just saying, folks, we're talking about overcoming, conquering things. That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
She said I was on 17 pills in medical marijuana. That probably was the reason. She said probably was the reason I was bedridden.
Yeah. The
Now
medical
she
cannabis.
has her
Yeah.
own.
Yeah. The medical natural helped me come down
I'm
to
just
about
saying.
3 pills, but the CMOS that I had started, but within time it totally healed me altogether, where I don't even need treatments anymore. So between my lifestyle change of eating and moving my body, a body in motion stays in motion, and then keeping my mental, because I had gotten to a point where I never thought I was going to walk again, to be honest. And I just told God, I don't care if I never walk again, just don't leave me. I don't want your presence to leave me. And it was like such a peace that I started to have. And not too long after that is when he said, okay, that's enough. You came to the end of yourself. Now it's time for me to move. And like this, I just started to change.
Well, there it is, folks. You heard it. Isaiah, say something, because I'm tongue twisted right now. I'm tongue tied.
And I got to
tongue
do a
tied.
poem
I'm
for you. You
jacked
know
up
I
right
got to do
now.
a
Say
poem
something,
for you.
Isaiah.
Look, I need to find where you at. I'm telling you, God, I swear to God. Look, she said, say something. My body got to catch up to me when I get up in the morning. That's how broke up I am.
I understand,
but listen, it was
sir.
wonderful being here with you. Thank you for all that information. As she said, I took notes because that's what I do. I don't act like I got it all together, but with y'all, I can have it all together. Because y'all two right there, y'all some phenomenal woman that's in my life now, because that's who I am. I'm good with spiritual, mental, but when it comes to physical composition, I work out for 2 days and think I did something. Then you know what I'm saying? No, I swear to God, the sciatica kicked up by the man. Listen.
But you know what? You can do simple things. I had to learn. I know I look young, but I'm pushing 50, y'all. Okay. So, menopause hit and it actually like flared everything up. So I had to relearn even exercise. You can't exercise the same way under menopause, because you'll make the hormones overreact. So, you just have to learn what it is that you need. Something as simple as walking 15 to 20 minutes after each meal, or walking 45 minutes a day, can help you burn fat for the next 4 hours. So there's simple things. You don't have to be a hardcore gym guru. You just have to find something that you like. Okay. And if you don't like anything, then you got to push yourself, because you got to say to yourself, okay, so you ain't moving like you used to. We got to figure out some common ground here.
Absolutely.
That's where the maturity part comes in, to say, listen, you got to get this body under subjection.
Slow down and pause. We only have 10 more minutes. Not even really that, because Instagram wants us off a little bit earlier because they won't upload it if it's over a certain. So when it comes to your final remarks, tell the people where they can find you. Please, on all your platforms, write them all down. Please go get your pencils, call her up, order her products, get her services. She is simply amazing. You can see her on TV. Tell them what radio show you're on. Tell them everything.
So every Monday you can catch me on Total Transformation Radio. Every third Monday is the EataCure Wellness segment, but I'm on every week now as just a guest host. So you can find me there, or it's www. Don't just look up Total Transformation Media. Total Transformation Media. I don't want to give you incorrect for the radio station, but it's WWDB 560 AM is what we're on. That's the actual radio station coming out of Philadelphia. And it's actually syndicated to, I think, 3 other states now. So I'm on their show, which is Total Transformation Media. You can also reach me at www.EataCure.com. Eat a cure, just like it sounds. And on IG and TikTok, it's Marcia Marie Wellness. Facebook, it's Marcia238, but I think I don't know if I can accept any more followers on Facebook. I maxed out on the followers.
Well,
And then you can
that's something.
also
Nobody has more followers than you.
it's not true.
That's amazing. You're amazing. Where else? Go ahead. Tell them where else. Tell them where else.
So you also can follow
I
EataCure
can't
just like
take
it
it.
sounds. EataCure just like it sounds, one word on all platforms. So you just look up EataCure or EataCure Wellness and you'll find me there as well. And even on YouTube, Marcia
All right.
Marie
Thank you so
Wellness.
much. Now give us some final words. If you have
Final words.
I saw that.
Did you?
I saw that
did
too.
you?
So I told y'all she was all yes. Final words. What would you
Final
say to
words?
a person?
Do you want me to do a poem?
What's your final?
You want me to do a poem? Okay.
Yeah, you can
So
do
I'll
one.
do this. I'll do this poem called Scaled.
You got time.
Okay. So this is called Scaled. Dragonfly is my
Okay.
poet name, and dragonflies bring deep messages to the light. So most of my poems have dual meanings. You can reach it anywhere that it fits you. Do you ever just want to love someone to healing? More than just potential that you see, looking at a caged bird that needs to break free, stuck in a dimension of time for a crime that he may or may not have even committed. But now he's on trial with a life sentence in his mind when he really can be committed. He knows the master judge, but for whatever reason, won't allow him to advocate to the pieces of his heart, bruised soul, and broken body while his mind stays on overload, trying to balance the monster inside. I know you want that beast calm like the Dead Sea, but you keep surfing in oceans where the tide is too high and the thought of drowning keeps you on shore, whisking you back to the wave that you seek. The land of safety, peace, tranquility, strength, encouragement, and unconditional love. To love you through your unlovable moments and to remind you that you are more than what you believe sometimes, while helping you lift back up your crown when it starts to sink. Real rap from the grit. I felt the need to love on you. To love you with that kind of more love that covers, comforts, and keeps. That love that reminds you that you are that quality, unique masterpiece of art I enjoy as my personal premium collection. Giving you that non-judgmental kind of love, but not let you wallow in your mess type of love, so that you can edify to your highest self type of love. That 528 hertz frequency type love that restores every bad signal and cross line so that you can flow in a groove that you can chill in and vibe with for a lifetime. But if me never get the chance to whine a little dance with you back under the stars again, just know that I pray through those stars straight to the throne for you to be loved and healed in every way so that you can love and be loved again the right way. With that restorative type love that can only come from God as your source, that transformative type of love that brings out all who you were created to be and sends you on course, that agape type love that reminds you that he made you marvelously complex. So learn to love all of you like he does because he's pleased with what he created in life's vortex. Man, if I could only get you to see what I see and know what I know, to trust love one more time. I promise you it's different with growth, scaled. Thank you.
Wow. Woo!
Big up. Yeah,
Give it up. Give it up. Well, there it is. Yeah, there it is, folks.
Beautiful.
Marcia Maria Moore. Okay. Marie, thank you so much, Marcia, for coming on the show, embracing us with your presence. You guys heard it here from Bring It to the Table. I really do appreciate you so much, sister. God bless you. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on the show. You will, I'm going to send you all your information so that you can have it, your recordings, so you can take little clips and put it in your commercials and stuff. I know how you do. I see you all over everywhere. So,
love and
God bless
respect.
you in your future. Thank you so much for coming. And we really make sure y'all go to EataCure.com. Information WWDB 560 AM so that you can hear her on the radio. Peace out. There it is. Wow. Amazing.